Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're skipping all those basic introductions and jumping straight to the whiteboard. We're mapping out the elite strategies, the high-scoring keywords, and the insider Canadian cultural secrets you need to absolutely crush the pragmatic comparison scenarios in Task 5. Specifically, we're breaking down a total classic, choosing between a park and ride facility and a community garden. So let's dive right in and look at exactly what those evaluators are hunting for.
Here's our masterclass roadmap for today. We've got 6 stops: the perfect mind map, our bonus vocabulary bank, a deep dive script breakdown, Canadian cultural logic, avoiding major traps, and finally, high-frequency predictions. Let's get to it. Section 1. The perfect mind map. Engineering a flawless logic tree. All right, you want to memorize this exact, fail-proof 5-step logic tree. Imagine sketching this on your scratch paper during your 60-second prep time. Step 1 is cushioning. You start by validating the other person's choice. This shows massive emotional intelligence. Step 2, solve an immediate pain point. In our scenario, that's gridlock and gas prices. Step 3, zoom out. Highlight the long-term benefits, like, shrinking the carbon footprint. Step 4, and this is absolutely crucial, you politely crush their alternative by exposing its flaws, like the harsh winter. And Step 5, finish strong with a realistic call to action involving local decision makers. Lock that structure in. Moving on to Section 2, bonus vocabulary bank, words that instantly impress. Okay, notice how just swapping out basic, everyday words instantly levels up your tone. Instead of complaining about bad traffic, drop the word gridlock. Instead of a plain, I understand why you support this, go with, I totally get why you are vouching for this. And rather than bus stop, use transit hub or LRT station. Using this specific vocabulary proves to the evaluator that you have an advanced, highly pragmatic grasp of English as it's actually spoken in Canadian daily life. It is a total game changer. You'll want to add these to your mental whiteboard too. Year-round accessibility is just a fantastic phrase when you're contrasting a solid infrastructure project against something outdoors. Niche demographic, that is the absolute perfect, polite way to point out that the other option really only helps a tiny group of people. And finally, using pitch to, like, let's pitch this proposal to the city council, shows you genuinely understand how local governance works.
Section 3. Deep dive script breakdown, 60 seconds of perfection.
So, we always open with empathy. Please, whatever you do, never start by bluntly saying, I disagree with you. It's way too harsh. Instead, hit them with something like, I totally get why you're vouching for the community garden. See? High emotional intelligence. Then, you just smoothly pivot to your choice with, however, looking at the bigger picture. You're gently guiding them to your side rather than dragging them into an argument. Now here is the meat of the argument. We bring in our bonus vocabulary, framing the transit option as the ultimate fix for those brutal daily pain points. We hit them with constant gridlock and instantly position the park and ride as the hero that saves gas money and reduces the carbon footprint. You're basically proving your choice solves a headache that literally everyone in the community shares. Next up is the teardown phase, and this is brilliant. You can't just hype up your own idea, you have to contrast it. Use a transition like plus we have to factor in to bring in a devastating rebuttal. Look at how we weaponize the climate here. A garden is buried under snow for 6 months, meaning it only serves a niche group. But a transit hub, on the other hand, it offers year-round accessibility. You are politely but very firmly dismantling their logic. To wrap up our 60 seconds, we use given these pressing issues. We finish off with a collaborative, highly localized call to action by asking, let's pitch this to the city council together. You aren't just winning an argument, you're initiating a very realistic next step in local civic life. It's the perfect bow on top. Section 4, Canadian cultural logic, insider secrets from maximum points. Listen, aggressive disagreement will cost you points, big time. Instead, you need to use what we call Canadian cushioning. A phrase like, it might not be the most practical choice due to the weather, softens the pushback beautifully. You're still saying no, absolutely, but you're wrapping that no in a velvet glove. Evaluators love this. And speaking of the weather, the harsh winter is quite literally your trump card. Using the reality of a long, snowy winter as a logical point against outdoor alternatives proves you actually understand the real-world environment. When the evaluator hears, it's going to be buried under snow for half the year, it earns an instant nod of approval. It's a highly localized, super pragmatic way to win the debate. Section 5. Avoiding major traps, where most people lose points. Okay, the #1 reason candidates tank their scores is ignoring a core requirement, task fulfillment. The prompt specifically requires you to persuade. You literally cannot just spend your 60 seconds praising your park and ride facility. If you don't directly address, compare, and politely point out the flaws in the community garden, you failed the task requirements. I can't stress this enough. Comparison is absolutely mandatory. Keep these 3 traps completely off your radar. Trap 1, using an aggressive tone and forgetting your Canadian cushioning. Trap 2, ignoring the alternative entirely, which, as we just said, destroys your task fulfillment score. And trap 3, bylaw and council confusion. Remember, transforming an empty lot into a facility isn't decided by one random neighbor. It's voted on by the city council. Proving you understand that civic structure, massive bonus points.
Section 6. High-frequency predictions, adapting the master blueprint.
The true power of this infrastructure logic is that it's basically plug and play. Take a look at these predictions. If the exam hits you with bike lanes versus car lanes, boom, apply the exact same logic. Talk about congestion, emissions, and gridlock. What about an outdoor pool versus an indoor public library? You immediately play your harsh winter trump card. The pool sits idle and useless for most of the year. And a company offering a free transit pass versus a gym membership? Just pull out that niche demographic logic. Transit helps everybody, while the gym only helps a specific few. Once you grasp this underlying logic, you can tackle almost any scenario they throw at you. I'm going to leave you with a final challenge today to really test your new analytical skills. So today, we champion the park and ride, leaning hard on practicality and those daily pain points. But what if you wanted to choose the community garden instead? How would you reverse engineer this entire master blueprint? How could you use themes like environmentalism, mental health, and community cohesion to politely dismantle the idea of a giant concrete parking lot? Really think about it. Map it out on your mental whiteboard and use those structural tricks we talked about to build your own perfect response. You've got this. Keep practicing, and I'll catch you next time.